Painting an interior, are you painting for exterior? Before you decide on your painting projects, these are important information you need before deciding on it. Number one, after your painting project, no one is coming in to come and discuss about paint. Paint is the final stages when you are planning a building project. But before you select your paint, there are some preparation that you need to know. There are some important factors that you need to consider before selecting your paint. Firstly, are you painting an interior? Are you painting for exterior? Before you decide on your painting projects, these are important information you need before deciding on it. Number one, after your painting project, no one is coming in to come and work again. After your painting project, there is no electrician should come in for chiseling. Furniture work should have been done but not installed on the wall, because immediately after painting, a serious work shouldn't be done in any of the interior part of the house again. So this is why when we want to do a painting job, we advise all workers should be out of sight. All workers working on site is not allowed anymore. So before you decide on your final painting, this is what you should do. You can try to do the painting on two stages. We have a pre-painting and final painting. This pre-painting is the preparation of the wall. Your painter can move in and prepare your wall, make it ready for the final finishes. What we mean by wall preparation is that after a screeded wall, you have screeded your wall. The next is the painter to apply his paint. But it's not all painters that do primer. It's not all painters that do priming on the wall, but the highly recommended standard for applying paint on the wall is the application of the primer coat, which we use mostly as emulsion or satin paint. But me, as myself, if I take a project, I recommend you to use the matte paint, because the advantage of using a matte underlaying is that it will allow the final finishes of the whole satin paint to glitter and to have a smooth surface. So when the painter is about preparing the wall, if fittings have been installed, it will use a masking tape to tape around the fittings. The door, it will use a masking tape to tape around the door so that paint will not stain the door. And when you have a floor that have already been cleaned, a good paper tape should be used, or a board should be used to cover the floor area, and all the fittings should have been taped so that paint won't stain any part of this job. So when the painter is preparing his job, the other projects are being prepared, and if the plumber is still working, if electricians are still working, if any of these guys are still working on site, the painter should not be in a hurry to finish the job as fast as possible. He should just be patient, or he leave the site for them, because this is the best professional painting idea. No one should come in when painting have started. So if the painter now prepared the wall, you have applied your prime coat, then you apply a first coat of your final paint. If you apply the final first coat, then you leave it, allow anybody that want to do any work to work. If possible, if they want to clean up some part area of the whole project, you can allow them to do that. Then the final painting, after the final painting, the next is to lock up the door. This is how to achieve a good finishing in painting job. So when you have a prepared area, the painter will not be coming back for touch up, because when a wall is stained, if you are putting a touch up on the wall, there will be a color. It will start giving you some eye effect. So when there is a eye defect in wall, it's giving you a bad painting job. This is why whenever we are taking any job involving painting, we do recommend all workers out of sight. When you have your paint project, what type of paint is good for interior painting? Number one, when we talk about paint is categorized into different levels. We have the emulsion paint. Emulsion paint is known as the flat paint. After the emulsion paint, we have the matte paint, After the matte, we have the satin, we have the semi-gloss, and we have the gloss. And it depends on how you want it to shine. Under the satin shade, we have the shining, we have the low sheen, high sheen, and medium sheen. It depends on how you want it to glitter. So most houses like something glittering. This is why satin paint is one of the highly used trending paint used in modern house design. But when you are talking about exterior, do you have a project that you have screeded the exterior of the house? The first thing when you are painting the exterior of a project is to put a primer also, because the primer will allow it to absorb the wall will absorb the paint, and it will give space for the final paint to stay, and it will give you a good finishing project. This is how to achieve quality job. So best paint for exterior painting is either matte, or if you want to go extra higher, you go for weather shield. The weather shield are extra quality paint, but matte is okay for exterior painting because it will be able to withstand weather conditions, sunlight, and rainfall. But ordinary emulsion paint, which is called a flat paint, if you are using ordinary emulsion paint, is based on the category you are putting it. Is either you go for emulsion paint that is of higher quality, is not the economy based paint. If you are applying economy based paint on the wall, the way I see it, the way I reason it, is just like you are wasting money, because the economy based paint being applied on an exterior wall, a paint that cannot withstand the pressure of sunlight, the pressure of rainfall, is like you are wasting your money. Because if after 2 years you are still coming back for that kind of painting job, the paint will fade off, and you'll be spending the same amount you spend on the painting of higher quality paint, the same labor cost you are spending for lower quality paint. So why didn't you try to buy higher quality paint and have the rest of your mind that, okay, it is when you decide that I'm tired of this color, I'm going to change this color of paint. So guys, anytime you are selecting paint, select high quality. High quality will give you higher results, and it will save you money in the future. Presently, it will take money out of your pocket, but in the future, it's going to save you money. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. Thank you, and God bless you. Hey.